What's going on, Blazionaires and Blazionettes? So I have seen the movie, so I'm gonna tell you what I ultimately thought about it. Well, let me put it this way. Movie critics, you can't trust them. I mean, like, they are sworn enemies to the moviegoers. I mean, once in a while, they will agree with you that, that a movie that you enjoyed is, enjoyable to them, but like 80 or I'd say 98% of the time, they're gonna bash a movie that you would definitely love to go see. For, me and you, like, for example. Now, and Rotten Tomatoes, I mean, like, if that's if you consider that as a reliable source of movie reviews of reviews for movies that you want to go see, then you are living a sad life, in my opinion. And with this petition going on, I'm not saying I would sign it, but I would not miss Rotten Tomatoes if it was officially shut down. Well, that all being said, you can tell that I enjoyed the movie, and I very much did so. So I'm just going to tell you that there is going to be spoilers in this review, so you may want to cut it off from here if you don't want to know anything that happens. So that is your warning. So I'm going to forget when I throw a spoiler out there, so that's just going to be your warning right then and there. Now, I gotta say that I think every character in this movie was not boring. I mean, like, there was not one boring moment in this movie where I'm just like, can we just cut back to here or here, like even Rick Flag. I mean, like, I thought he was a better. I thought he was developed pretty good on screen too, and it's a very, very gray area because like, there's a lot of bad people in this movie, and like, you don't even know who the real baddie is of the movie. I mean, like, the way they advertised it, they made it look like the Joker was, but the Joker is like only part of Harley Quinn's story, like, and very much so. Like, I loved how their relationship was on screen. It's a little, like, on the Joker's half of the relationship, it's very different than what we've seen on Batman the Animated Series and probably other other versions, like in comics and stuff like that. But at least what I remember most fondly is in the Batman the Animated Series, when she would always hover around him and call him pudding and whatnot. And he would be nice, and he would be nice to her once in a while, and every now and then he'll just push her out of the way, like, let me work, and all that stuff. And in this movie, he is not like that at all. No, not at all. I mean, like, he is going through hell. Like, basically his goal in this movie is to get her back. And he only abandons her one time. And that's in the flashback with when Batman apprehends her and takes her to Arkham Asylum, and he gets away. He knows that I guess he knows that Batman will save her. Which is why he let her drown in that car. Otherwise, I think he wouldn't have done that. But I gotta say, I mean, that is a funny scene with that Harley has with Batman after he rescues her, and then she tries to cut him with the knife, and then he punches her, and then when he gets her out, to the Batmobile, and he's ready to give her CPR. I mean, it reminds me of that moment in The Sandlot, at the pool when Squint's, Wendy Peppercorn. That's what Harley does to Batman. Like he gets Wendy Peppercorn in the way, like where he goes to give her CPR, and then she starts, and she puts her hand in the back of his head and starts making out with him. You like got Wendy Peppercorn. I mean, some of you had to have thought of that scene in the like from The Sandlot, when that happened. I sure as hell did. And other flashbacks were pretty damn good too. I mean, like, Deadshot, like, he was probably like one of the most humane, like probably the most humane member of the of that group. He's thinking about doing, like, what's best for his daughter, pretty much. Like, he's thinking about being able, her being able to do be able can't even talk. Her being able to do what she wants to do with her life and whatnot, and her and that, and you know, it makes you really feel for the guy, you know, and there's a lot of these characters that you definitely feel for, you know, too, and oh man, I'm trying to think of who else like you would feel for. I mean, like just pretty much almost all of them, really. I do have minor nitpicks, however. First off, I'm gonna have one of my nitpicks is with Killer Croc's personality, like where they sort of made him like kind of hood and all that. I don't really entirely agree with that. I mean, like I'm like, okay, like why is he acting like that? But it didn't stop me from enjoying the movie at all. It was just pretty random. I'm like, what? Okay, it is what it is. And when he finally, there's a moment where in the movie where he takes off the hood and he takes off his, you know, hoodie and whatnot, and he goes swimming, he does his thing, and he goes to grab a bomb, and like at the end of the movie. And when he does that, I'm like, okay, he's like a little Funko Pop where his head is big and his body's like pretty small, like mine. You know, like he has like a big head and a body like mine in a way. Like if you compare that, you know, like it's like a Funko Pop. Like what? But hey, whatever. I mean, he still looks pretty awesome though, like, you know, just in the face and stuff like that. And another nitpick of mine, for those of you who've seen it, like the Enchantress is the villain of the movie, is the baddie of the movie, and when she makes every member of the Suicide Squad see what like their deepest desires, and just pretty much it's like flashing before their eyes. Like there's Harley Quinn, she sees herself like having a perfect normal life with the Joker. He's not crazy. They have kids together, and she's a housewife. And then you see one with Rick Flag and I forgot the Enchantress's name. You know, her alter ego. Damn, I cannot remember her name. June. Yeah, June. And you see them they're all cuddled up on the bed together, and then there's the guy. There's Diablo, like you know, like you see him, like he killed his family, you know, and that's why he doesn't want to use his powers anymore. And then you see that they're all alive and stuff. But here's the nitpick of mine: when it gets to Deadshot, it got to Deadshot first. His deepest desire was to kill Batman. I'm like, what? After all this talk about your daughter, how you want all this stuff for her, you want her to be able to go to school, you want her to have a normal life, you want the best for her, but what your deepest desire is to kill Batman? Really? Like, what the fuck? They should have had him have a vision where he watches her graduate college or high school or something like that, you know, like where she's doing good with herself and he's proud of her, you know, something like that. You know, but, you know, that's just a nitpick of mine. I mean, that's like my biggest nitpick with this movie, but, you know, overall, it's still a great fun time. So, and Amanda Waller, that is one evil-ass bitch. And Viola Davis did a fantastic job playing her, and when I heard they casted her into this role, I'm like, what better choice? I mean, perfect. From what I did see of How to Get Away with Murder, I'm like, yeah, that is a perfect choice right there. And damn, I have to say, she is the most menacing, you know, Amanda Waller that we've gotten ever. So, and I liked how, you know, how it reminds us that it's connected with Man of Steel and Batman v Superman, like where they show a brief recap of Superman's funeral, and then you see a guy selling shirts like Remember Superman or something like that. And I liked how they did that, and they mentioned Superman quite a bit. Like, what if the next Superman will try to take over the planet, blah, 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 blah. And then you see the Batman cameos, and that's pretty freaking awesome too. And then we get the Flash, you know, like, and he takes in Captain Boomerang, and who is also funny as hell. And I mean, I don't know. I mean, like, I think all the characters were not boring. I mean, I was not bored in 1 second. You know, like, despite the nitpicks that I just mentioned. I don't know what's wrong with the critics. I mean, what the fuck? And I don't know the Suicide Squad. You know, the history of the Suicide Squad enough to say that having the Enchantress as the villain is the obvious choice to go with, or if it's the best or whatever. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I just took it for as it is. I mean, it's good for what it is, but I don't know what choice I would have gone with. You know, like for the Suicide Squad to go up against. Like, I would have gone with the Joker maybe, but I mean, I'm cool with that. That didn't happen. You know, like where the Joker was just a huge part of Harvey's, you know, like backstory, and what he does throughout this movie is trying to get her back, and that's what that's all he's been doing. I mean, like, I love how, you know, he's devoted to her, and he lives up to the title pudding. You know, like where he's actually the man that she pictures him to be. You know, and but that all being said, this movie gets 4 chair spins out of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, baby. So I have to say that this movie's great, and it leaves an opening for, you know, these characters that, you know, where you're going to see them again, especially Joker and Harley. I mean, like, even if we don't get a Suicide Squad sequel, I mean, like, I'm pretty sure that it would be great to see them in a Batman solo movie. You know, like, it makes you want it more. It makes you want it more and more when you see that flashback where Batman is after them and captures Harley Quinn, and then Joker gets away. You're like, man, I just want this to be a Batman movie just for that moment. I did, at least. Oh man. And but I'd say, you know, like, if you plan on seeing the movie, I think you're gonna enjoy it. And if you enjoyed, you know, Man of Steel and Batman v Superman, I'd say definitely check it out. And I didn't think I would enjoy this as much as Batman v Superman and Man of Steel, and I actually did. This movie had less flaws than those movies, and man, I mean, DC, they're doing pretty good with this. I mean, like, they could have done better with Man of Steel and Batman v Superman, and I still enjoyed them, but they're going, you know, they're still doing good with this. So I think you should go check it out. Ignore the critics. Fuck them. Go see it. Now, if you guys enjoyed this review, make sure you thumb it up, and make sure you click subscribe if you're new to the channel. And feel free to tell me what you thought of the movie. I mean, like, did you like it? Did you hate it? Do you think the critics were right or whatever? I don't know. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out, y'all.